Good evening everyone if you are here and listening in. Of course, we are here for the IFR eSports Cup event. My name is James Head, and looks like the drivers are beginning to get out on track early on indeed. I didn't know when to go there, to be honest. Legend out on pole position, out on track first, I should say. Good evening, everyone. It's the IFR eSports Cup event. We are here tonight, as I say, for round number 3 of the championship. We could call it round number 3. We had round number 3, obviously, in Belgium. That race, however, was cancelled as a result, and obviously it was put back to the second break week, or supposedly the second break week. I think that's on the 8th of April, if I'm not mistaken. So, Legend there out on top. Modesto, by the way, just to bring you up to speed about Modesto, he's got a qualifying ban for the team, apparently, so that is why Modesto is not in this session. He will be joining, of course, when we get into the new lobby as we go along. But Legend is the first man out on track, of course. There are a few changes, actually, to the driver lineup, and we'll run you through, of course, everything in terms of the standings, in terms of the driver lineup as we go through the session. Of course, we are here at the Autodromo International de Algarve, my favourite track to commentate on, my favourite track to race on as well, in the old Project Cars 2 days, and hopefully it's going to be a really good race, of course, out on track. Looks quite overcast in qualifying, but Legend now coming around the final corner and on the run towards the line. Let's see what the Dutchman can do out of the final corner on the run towards the line here at the Autodromo International de Algarve. You will see why I really like this track to commentate on. Legend now coming down in towards turn 1 of Primera, and clips the curb on the inside, just about gets away with non-invalidation there. Coming out through the right hand of turn number 3, then through the left hand of turn number 4. Nice negotiates that well. DRS zone enabled. 21.9 through the first sector from Legend. Now towards Torre Vip at turn number 5, my favourite corner on the track, because I can actually pronounce it and everything like that. And now coming up in towards turn number 6, Legend is just invalidated. I will run you through the driver lineup as we go along. You can probably see, though, on the left hand side of your screen, who is actually in what team, so you can just decipher it for yourselves in terms of how the driver lineup is looking here tonight. Xander is one of the first men out on track as well. Interestingly, he's on a set of soft compound tyres as well. So, in the McLaren, in the Red Bull I should say, not the McLaren, he's coming through turn number 9 and in towards turn 10 at Portsmouth. Of course, this is the top of the hill, highest point on the track actually on here at the Autodromo International de Algarve, coming through the left hander of turn 11 and then in toward the left hander of turn number 12. And nice negotiated course. There are 2 layouts, by the way, to this track. We've obviously got the Grand Prix layout from 2020 and also the actual MotoGP layout, and that was the penalty box, obviously, where you go around. You're now sits the first lap of the race, of the qualifying session so far, 16.6 on that in the Haas, as now Xander comes to the line, 16.5, much better there from Xander. And look at there, goes a 10th behind. Assi goes quickest though, 16.2. Looks like drivers are just getting up on their outlaps at the minute. Rudy's coming around the final corner for the IFR team, with 4 minutes gone already in the session. Tom now out on top, Assi in second, Rudy now goes third. Rudy actually won around here in PSGL F3, so he's already got a bit of experience. Whether or not he's got the pace against some of these guys, though, remains to be absolutely seen. But he has won, of course, PSGL F3 around here, which I, of course, got the privilege to commentate on. Tom out on top, block in second, Assi in third. Ngolo's out on laps. Fede has just gone quickest for the OP team. Fasilo's also out there on an out lap at this stage. CC Brain for TTG. He's coming around the final couple of corners. Actually invalidated now, coming through turn 14. We'll get the driver lineup, by the way, now, just to run you through in terms of who is in what team and who is in what car, obviously, and in terms of the standings as well. You probably saw it popping up on the left-hand side of your screen as CC Brain now comes to the line, doesn't obviously get a lap in. Manolo was also invalidated. Lattis has just started up on a lap, and Lore now, the ET8 man, coming out the final corner. We'll see what the Williams can do. Going to be quite quick around here, I think, Lore's. He now comes towards the line, and he goes 9th, 16.7. Good bank lap from him. He obviously can improve as the session goes on. And of course, if, and only if, the sun obviously comes out during the session, and obviously the track will improve in terms of the tyre wear around here as well. In terms of the driver lineup for tonight, Legend and Rudy representing IFR, Xander and Benjamin representing TF10, that is our Dapple Gamer of course, Fede and Fasilo representing OP, CC Brown and Metti representing TTG, Andrea and Suku representing Chazoo. I think Tom, however, is in for Suku, so that is a change in the lineup. Modesto with that qualifying ban, not in the session at the minute. He will, of course, be here for the race. He'll be starting right at the back of the field. Colin N'Golo as well for FVR. Block in the Coasters for F1MD. Julian and Manolo for the Ferrari team, of course, for the TF. Assi and Yogurt for SXT, and Lorraine Lattice there for ETH. I think the only driver changes, actually, if I'm not mistaken, looking at them, are, I think it's literally just the change for Tom. And Tom there in second. Fasilo, by the way, went third, as Colin N'Golo now goes quickest, 15.7. He now lays the smack down on everyone here so far out on track with 6 minutes gone. Colin N'Golo out on top. Fede in second, Tom in third. And of course, Colin N'Golo, if you haven't seen the last couple of weeks of PSGL PC, he's actually been trying it out, I think at F2 or F3, if I'm not mistaken, in the PC tiers, making his return to the PS4. And he's a very, very quick driver. Probably one of the drivers for the future, I would imagine, in league racing. But Colin N'Golo out on top, already just through 6 minutes. Fede in second, Tom in third. In terms of these standings actually coming into tonight as well, we didn't have enough time to run you through at the start of the stream, unfortunately. But TF10 lead the way on 114 points. Outplayed Racing in second on 99 points. FBL in third on 78. Team Shazoo in fourth on 74. IFR in fifth on 41. TTG in sixth along with F1MD, they're on 37. SXT in 8th on 31, ET8 in 9th on 23, and TF in 10th on 16 points. So that is the rundown of the points. I will remind you, of course, and I will show up the graphic, I'm sure, as we go through into the lobby transition. CC Brain now on the lap for the TTG team. He's now coming through the right hand. It looks like he's backed off, actually, on this lap. He has. He's going considerably so, and I think he's run out of fuel, actually. So, looks absolutely deceiving around this track. Manolo has also run out of fuel. And we should be seeing drivers now going out for their second run, as one would imagine. Tom, I think, is the furthest on, actually out on track for a second run, along with Yogurt. I think Yogurt might be the furthest on, though, on a lap at the minute. Colin N'Golo out on top. He's a good 2.5 tenths clear of Fede, actually. Fede and Fasilo, normally the OP team is right up there in terms of this event. Obviously commentated around here in the PSGL event as well in Portimao. And it was a really, really good race, albeit intermediate conditions that day, but OP were very quick that day, and they should be towards the top end of the field, one would imagine, towards the end of the session. Yogurt has just started up on his lap. We're going to focus on with Tom, though. He's in third position at the minute, 16.1. Yogurt with a 16.6, so he'd be looking to improve. Normally, as the session goes on, you look to improve around 2-3 tenths per second. Tom is no practice merchant. We know that, of course. And Tom comes out the final corner on the run to the line. He comes down in towards turn number 1 at Primera. Primera, of course, the Portuguese and the Spanish for number 1. Yeah, corner 1. Tom now coming through turn number 2 and then through the right-hander of turn 3. And nicely negotiates turn number 3 through the left-hander of turn number 4. You've got to get really deep to the apex. You normally take a wide-out line there, actually. But Tom coming through the first sector, he's 500s up, so he's purple in the first sector, 21.6, down into the hill, down into the dip in the hill, down in towards Torre River turn 5. Now coming to the left-hander of turn 6, and then in towards my favourite named corner on the track, Samsung, of course, named after that mobile phone that many of you might have. Yes, I'm down with the kids. Tom now coming through the left-hander of turn number 9 through Craig Jones, and now coming through the right-hander of turn number 10 at Portimao. Portimao, of course, being the village on the outskirts of this track, around about 10 minutes away from the actual track, 51.2 in the middle sector from Tom. Now coming to the left-hander of turn 13, turn 12 even, now through 13. Our Dapple Gamer's just ahead of him, so the Red Bull's going to give him nice little bit of slipstream, I think, coming across the line here. So this might just egg on Tom to try and improve a little bit further. Now coming through Galp at turn 15, and now on the run towards the line with Tom. I think he's going to go second with this lap. Goes to the line, and he does go second, 15.8. We should be seeing times in around the mid-115s, I think, towards the end of the session. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. Block is on a lap, 21.6, 10th up through the first sector. F1MD have showed quite consistent pace in the recent races, of course, here in the IFR event. And F1MD, oh, as Block actually loses it coming out of turn number 7. So, as literally I say that, they were too consistent enough. He spun the car, unfortunately, and Block is now round, and he can recover the car, hopefully, and try and get a couple more runs in at least. But Colin N'Golo out on top, Tom in second, so we'll focus on Fede then. Fede's coming through that part of the track. He's 200s up, Assie's just gone third. Fede will be hoping to go probably ahead of Tom, I think, with this lap. He's got to rely on his teammate giving him a bit of slipstream as well. 51.3 is actually down in the middle sector. It's very tight. If you don't have a downforce setup around here, you're going to really kick out that back end around here. And when you kick out the back end, there's a chance, and a big chance, that you will end up spinning, will end up in the wall, and there could be a safety car deployed, of course, in the race if that does happen. But Fede coming through the final couple of corners. What is the Italian going to do as he now runs towards the line? And he doesn't improve. He found a bit of time there in the final sector. He didn't improve. Vasilo was coming through the final couple of corners as well. Now down in towards Galp at turn 15. Condingullo though still out on top. Tom second. Xander third. Ardapple Gamer now. Benjamin there in fourth. Vasilo now running to the line. And he now goes second. So Vasilo goes second. I believe... a little birdie told me, because I watched PSGL F1 earlier on in the season as well, I believe Fasilo was on pole position around here. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but Fasilo was certainly up towards the top end of the field in Portimao in PSGL F1, so be hoping for a very good result. And try and see if anybody else is on a lap. Messier was on a lap for TTG. I think he's actually just came off a lap, in fact, so sorry about that. He's just came off a lap. 16 flat for the current leader in the PSGL F3 standings. I am mentioning PSGL F3 and PSGL quite a lot on this stream, I apologise. Blocked out coming to the left-hander of turn number 13, and now through the right-hander of turn 14. Paxi out on pole, I've been informed. Fasila was up towards the top end of the field. I think I remember him being at least in the top 5 in F1, if I'm not mistaken. He loved the intermediate conditions, which obviously that session had. Block now running to the line. He goes 8, just backed off his throttle slightly. I think he ran out of actual deployment coming across the line there. And that is one thing as well we've got to talk about, the actual deployment and the actual tyres. What are they going to do around here? Ferrari's also one lap further down the field, the two TF drivers. Julian coming around the final corner. Manolo as well through the final corner. Again, using limited deployment to the line. Goes 13th though, and he found a lot of time in that final sector. Yeah, Fasila was in the top 3. I knew he was in the top 5 at least, which is good. So give me credit on that, please, Frankie. Cullen and Gulload on top, Fasila in second, Tom in third. See, I remember things. I vividly remember things here, and that's why I'm probably a GOAT commentator, but there we are. Cullen and Gulload on top, Fasila in second, Tom in third. I wonder if Cullen and Gulload's actually back out on a lap. He's actually, yeah, there he is. He's coming through the final couple of corners. Through 10-14, he's run out of fuel. Fuel obviously can run out, and Condengolo goes so far wide, and he's just destroyed the polystyrene boards. What on earth did the top polystyrene boards do to deserve that? Condengolo out on top. I think we are 2/3 of the way through the session now, probably just less than 5 minutes to go in the session. If we can see, yeah, just less than 5 minutes to go in the session. Condengolo out on top, Fasilo in second, Tom in third at this moment in time. Really hope you're enjoying the stream, by the way. Let me know who you're supporting, the 36 of you that are currently in the stream right now. Let me know who you're supporting, and let me know who you think might be top 3 in the race as well. Qualifying obviously going on. Can't really predict the top 3 in qualifying now. It's still, what, 4 minutes to go? Condengolo out on top, Fasilo in second, Tom there in third. Lattis, I think, is just holding up Nicolsos. I'm not sure if Nicolsos was on the lap there. Luckily, backed off the lap. Otherwise, that could have been a little bit of trouble for Lattis. And I think also he is another driver that is in, obviously, for ET8. He's in alongside Lorre here tonight. Colin N'Golo saying he deserved a qualifying ban for this. Well, Modesto, unfortunately, has got the qualifying ban for FVR, but still, Colin N'Golo out on top. PSGL PC, he's been applying his trade there. He's been quite consistent, I've got to say, in PSGL PC as well. Obviously making this comeback to PS4 for tonight. He is towards the top end of the field. He's out on top at the minute, 15.7. Fasilo in second, 15.8. Tom in third, 15.8. Then Xander in fourth, 15.8. And you've got the top 4 at the minute covered by 700th of a second. Very, very close indeed. Freddy is saying IFR, of course. FER I know will be supporting, along like Frankie, I know Shazoo with Kuhn there in the comment section as well. Modesto saying last the first challenge. Yeah, Modesto I think could do a last the first challenge, but depends on what the conditions actually are in the actual race. And hopefully around here we're not going to get a bit of a farce and a bit of a disgrace like we had 2 weeks ago in Belgium, where of course the race got cancelled. If you're very unfamiliar with the actual issue, as Yogurt's now on a lap coming through turn number 2, if you're very unfamiliar what happened last week in Belgium, first off the race was pretty good, and then we started to get yellow flag glitches, safety car came out, and then the yellow flag glitches really kicked in, and unfortunately we had desyncing drivers as well, and it was determined by the stewards after the race, and I think honestly best call for every single team here in the IFR eSports Cup. Everyone given a better chance, everyone to do Belgium again, and that's going to be, I believe, on the 8th of April, if I'm not mistaken, in the second break week. Yogurt now coming through the right-hander of turn number 8, very, very squirrely coming out of Samsung there. And it looks like the SXT man has actually backed out of this lap. And I'm not surprised because he was very, very sideways there. Coming out of turn number 8. Really, really missed the apex. Andrea was on a lap. He's invalidated though coming through the first sector. Legend is now on a lap. Let's see how the IFR man can do. Top 10, or top 18 I should say, are covered by just less than the second. Legend I think will fit into this mix quite nicely. Legend now coming down towards the first sector. 21.7, exactly where you want to be I think in the first sector around here. I've seen drivers go 21.5, 21.6s possibly as well in this first sector. Legend though coming through the left-hander and now through the right-hander of 7 and then through Samsung at turn number 8. Tesla crashed lap 1. I'm not liking that prediction, to be honest. Maybe so, maybe so. Who knows what's going to happen? There is going to be a big Constantina effect down towards turn number 1. So drivers, I think, are going to be looking very, very carefully, I think, at everyone around them and everyone in front and behind them as well. Very difficult being a driver, I've got to say. Legend now coming through the left-hander of 13 into the right-hander of 14 at Sagres. Now coming through the turn 15 at Galp. He's got a Haas just in front of him. I believe that is Yogurt possibly or Assy on an out lap. We have got drivers though on their final laps. Legend out to the line. He goes 5th. That didn't look quick at all, I've got to say. I'm shocked. 15.9. Really good lap from Legend. Xander is the first man we'll pick on board with. There are drivers ahead of him out on track. As our Doppelganger now goes quicker, so I went on board with the wrong man at the wrong time. Xander now coming to the left-hander of turn 9. In towards Portimao at turn number 10. Let's see what Xander can do. Through the middle sector, 51.1, he's backed off his lap. He's backed off his lap, was not happy, I think, with that middle sector at all. So Xander has backed out. Pasilo's invalidated. Condingola was on a lap as well. Trying to pick up on some of the guys towards the top end of the field, so apologies if I don't go on board with anyone. Fetty nearly hits Block coming through turn 13. Goodness me, Block, I don't know what he was doing on the right-hand side there. Fetty was very, very close. If he went an inch wide, he would have been into the back of him. It's as simple as that. The Italian now coming around the final corner at Gap, on the run towards the line, and he goes 6th. He goes to 10th quicker. Legend is not on a lap. Xander is not either. Tom isn't. Vasilo isn't. Condingola is, though. He's looking quick, though. Coming through the final corner at Gap, through turn 15, on the run to the line. Is he going to improve? No, he's backed off 6/10, and he actually didn't get across the line for another run. Andrea goes 2nd. There was a bit of slipstreaming going on there. Tom goes 5th as well. So Andrea goes up to 2nd. Good lap time from him. We're going to see some really big improvements. Freddy has invalidated and just gone off into the gravel there, coming through turn number 3. Legend not on a lap. Block not on a lap. Matthew is, though. 500 top, coming through the middle sector. Through turn 14, and then through turn 15. Our Doppelganger out on top. Benjamin currently leading the way. Andrea in 2nd. Condingola in 3rd. Where is the TTG man going to go with this lap? Metty to the line. He goes 9th. 15.9. Good lap from him. Is anybody else further down the field going to improve? Block isn't. Julian, I don't think, is on a lap either. Rudy is barely on a lap. He's a 10th up, though, in the middle sector. So it might be worth running on board with Rudy at this point. Our Doppelganger has just spun in front of him all, and that is actually caused a bit of a miss, and Rudy just crashed into the wall unforgivingly, I think, there. Our Doppelganger wasn't the one. I think it was Xander that got in the way, and he spun through the final couple of corners. I think that's the end of qualifying. Fasilo's actually on the lap. Fasilo could be the last man to steal pole position from Benjamin. Fasilo to the line. He comes back into the pit lane. So he juked me completely there. Freddy's not on a lap. Nikolsov's not on a lap. I think everyone is done. I'm just flicking through quickly. Yeah, everyone is done in qualifying. That is the end of qualifying. And look at the top 3. Our Doppelganger, that is Benjamin out on top. Andrea in 2nd. Corden and Gurlo in 3rd, 15.7, 15.7, 15.7. Our Doppelganger out on top. Andrea, though, I've got to be honest, he had slipstream coming around the final couple of corners. Maybe if the two Shizou guys, maybe down towards turn 5, for example, got a little bit of slipstream there, Andrea possibly could have went pole position. I'm not criticising at all in terms of the slipstream, but I think looking back on that with a bit of hindsight, Andrea will probably realise, Tom, you should have given me literally on this run down and towards turn number 5. You can gain about 0.2 per second, and that could have been the difference between, of course, pole position and 2nd. In case it is Andrea there in 2nd. Our Doppelganger, though, out on top. Very good qualifying session indeed. Tresse saying, really would be scared if I came into a lobby and these were the drivers I was up against. Yeah, so would I. So would I, to be honest. But still, that is... Yeah. I mean, I'd be about 3 seconds slower than these guys, so don't worry about that at all. We'll run you through, though, the grid order, and it is our Gamer out on top. The top 5 are covered by a 10th of a second. Absolute madness out on track. Our Gamer out on top. Andrea there in 2nd. Conlon Gullo in 3rd. Fasilo in 4th. Tom there in 5th. Xander in 6th. Feddy in 7th. Nicosos there in 8th. Meteor in 9th. Legend ran off the top 10. 2 10s dead on, covering the top 10. Assy there in 11th. Block there in 12th. Yogurt in 13th. Julie in 14th. Rudy in 15th. 4/10 of a second covering the top 15. Laurie in 16th, Lattice in 17th, Manolo in 18th, CC Brain in 19th, and 7.5 tenths covering the whole field. Fantastic qualifying session indeed. Hopefully, as I say, we are going to be getting going into the actual formation lap. And of course, we have the lobby to set up before that once again. So, hopefully I'll be able to actually join first time this time, and they might have actually fixed that during it. By the way, I'd like to thank every single one of you who has subscribed to the IFR eSports team channel, and if you haven't, what are you doing with yourself? Please follow us, please subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new. 203 followers we have currently got. Get that up towards 225, I'd be very happy by the end of the night. But hopefully, as I say, we're going to be getting going very soon indeed. I am going to quit the lobby now, just so hopefully I can rejoin first time, which would be good. If not, it's probably going to be the case where I have to restart my game, I have to then restart the stream, and then, luckily, the Twitch stream will still be running, so I can still try and get into some sort of comments maybe in the Twitch stream. But there is a possibility I might have to end my stream, which is the YouTube stream that you're seeing at the minute, because I'm obviously streaming on YouTube. It's getting broadcast back to Twitch. Hopefully, though, it'll be first time me joining the actual lobby, and we haven't received any invites yet, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. And oh, pardon me, it is, of course, our Gamer out on top. Benjamin, of course, for TF10. Xander was well up there in terms of the field as well. So TF10 currently holding that pole position with Benjamin. How will the Red Bulls get on? How will every team get on? Let me know in the comment section how you think your team will get on, how you think other teams might get on as well. And of course, TF10 are leading the standings. So Benjamin now being at the top, Xander being well up there, I think in the top 5 as well. Sets them out well. OP well up there. It's going to be a really good fight, I think, between them both here tonight. Possibly, I think FBR could do quite well, because Cullen Gullo's up there. Modesto, obviously, from the back of the field, we know he's an absolute menace around this track. Very quick driver indeed. How will he cope as we go through the actual sessions? We haven't got one. Check the chat on PSN. Hopefully I'll be able to join up first time, and I have joined up first time. That's a rarity. Thank goodness for that. Oh, but yeah, we are gonna be commentating you through the action very soon indeed. It'll probably take around 5 minutes or so to actually go through everything. But what we will do in this meantime is obviously run you through the actual driver lineup and the actual standings with the graphics on, instead of me actually saying them in qualifying. So just to remind you who is in what team and who is going to be, of course, driving here tonight. You've probably already seen them, obviously, if you have tuned in. If you haven't, and for the benefit of anyone that's tuning in now, Legend and Rudy representing IFR, Xander and Benjamin representing TF10, Feddy and Fasilo representing OP, CC Brain and Meteor representing TTG, Andrea and Suku representing Shazoo. That is now Tom, of course, in for Suku. Modesto, who served up that qualifying ban, he's now within the lobby, which is good to see. Cunning Gullo as well for FBR. Block and the Coastals for F1MD. Julian and Manolo for TF. Assy and Yogurt for SXT, and Lorray and Lattice for ET8. That is the driver lineup. I'm probably not going to go through them again, but just for the benefit of everyone, that is the driver lineup. And of course, you have seen all 19 drivers, bar Modesto, of course, actually they're in qualifying. So you know what they're like, and you know how this is going to be going in terms of the actual action out on track. And I cannot wait to bring you the action. As I said, Portimao is one of my favourite tracks, and what I'll do actually, I'll take you off the stream for the moment and actually bring you the actual track layout. Portimao, of course, 15 turns, 4.6 kilometres and then 2.8 miles, 1:18.7 lap record around here. That is held, of course, by Sir Lewis Hamilton in 2020. And the track definitely is classed as hard. Of course, 3 component tyres if it is dry, C3, C2 and C1, softs, mediums and the hards. Should be seen, I think, a majority drivers going softs to mediums. If not, it'll be medium to softs. That is the simple one-stop strategy around here. Obviously quite high tyre wear as well. If it's going to rain, of course, intermediate conditions, which can dispose of 25 to 30 litres of water every single second. Full wet, of course, can display up to 75 litres a second as well. So that is that in terms of, obviously, the lineup and everything like that. But what we will do, of course, as well, is run you through the standings right now. I'm just going to get it up, and I'll get you up the calendar as well in a short time. But as a reminder, TF10 leading the way on 114 points, outplayed there in second on 99, FBR in third on 78, Shazoo in fourth on 74, as I have just got split screen up for some reason, IFR in fifth on 41, TTG in sixth along with F1MD on 37, SXT in eighth on 31, ET8 in ninth on 23, and TF in 10th on 16 points. So that is the rundown, of course, of the actual standings. TF10, as I say, out on top, outplayed there in second, FVR there in third, and cannot wait to bring you the action, of course, around Portimao. As I say, I first got into commentary around here at Portimao, pretty much one of my first streams I ever did as a commentator on Project Cars for a league called Gavra Racing. You might have heard of them. If you haven't, of course, go and look them up because it's a fantastic league. And that, in Project Cars 2 era, this track brought me some really, really good racing. We had, obviously, it's different now with F1, obviously. It's going to be taken off the game, of course, in F1 2022, we imagine. And, of course, you might have heard on the grapevine that there is a new F1 Manager coming out as well. So I want to get your opinions of that. How do you think F1 Manager will look? Apparently it's going to include F2 and F3 content as well, which I think a game in this series is absolutely crying out for. We should be seeing F2 and F3 content pretty much in every single game. Ideally, career mode, you begin up in the junior ranks, you begin up maybe as a karter or maybe in F4, and you take on some of the Asian championships, and then you go to F3, then you end up obviously in F2, and then go to F1. It'll be that natural progression, I think. Something that I'd love to see, obviously, is that extended career mode. But F1 Manager, I'm absolutely gassed for. I really, really am looking forward to F1 Manager. It is going to be a fantastic, fantastic game. It's going to be out, apparently, I've heard in June or July, so in the summertime. And obviously, it is going to be the fans' favourite. And of course, if anybody has been watching Drive to Survive, I haven't, unfortunately, watched it so far, but I will be in the coming days. Drive to Survive, of course, Season 4 out on Netflix, apart from, of course, if you are in countries that obviously don't show Netflix, of course, what is going on in the world right now. But, as I say, really good to see Drive to Survive back, and obviously we had fantastic Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, probably the best season of the lot, with the finale and everything. If anybody's got up to the final episode, please do not ruin it for me. Please do not ruin any episodes for me, because A, I don't care, and B, I don't want to know. Simple as that. 20 drivers now in the lobby, though, I can report, so I'm just trying to waffle on in the time. Looking through some of the comments as well. Kuhn there in the comment section at Andrea W. Yeah, he went second, obviously, in terms of his lap. So very consistent lap from him. Hola to Isma, como estas? Yeah, I know Spanish. There we are. But the IFR team, of course, coming in with them little emojis as well. Dresse, I can see in the comment section. And Stinson, actually, that would be really impressive at Portimao. Yeah, I think, honestly, Portimao is one of those tracks where you either love it or hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. You either love it or hate it. For a commentator, it's an absolute dream, because it's got so many good camera angles. I'm going to try and bring you quite a few of them, hopefully, in the actual race. And we shouldn't be too far away, I think. The grid order probably being set. The final driver that did join into the session, I believe, was Manolo. So Manolo's back in. We are going to be very, very cautious indeed. And hopefully it is going to be fantastic to actually see. Yeah, I am bien, unfortunately. I don't know, that's about as much as my Spanish actually gets up to, but bien. Very bien indeed. Muy bien, there we go. Oh, I'm gonna go on a Spanish lesson, I think, in these next coming rounds, of course. In fact, in terms of the calendar, to run you through actually the what's coming up in a couple of rounds' time, we've got Jeddah in 2 weeks' time. I'm looking forward to Jeddah especially. Always get a good race around there. These guys have obviously done it if they've been on the PSGL event before, if they've been in league racing before, obviously. Jeddah, absolutely fantastic track to drive. It's a commentator's dream as well. Brazil is next week though, Interlagos more immediately. Next week though, Brazil, normally season finale track, but we are halfway through the season pretty much at that point, and that obviously means how Brazil will look remains to be seen, and how the drivers will come out of this race, of course, will remain to be seen as well. As I say, in terms of the calendar, Belgium, that was round 3, obviously got cancelled last week. We got through around 17-18 laps of that race before we called it a day, but Belgium now moving to essentially round number 7 of the championship. So this is round, I think I've put it on my stream anyways as round 4. It's technically classed as round 3 this in Portugal. Belgium will move to the 8th of April, which means, actually, we've got Jeddah coming after that, so my apologies. So we've got Portugal, Brazil, Japan, Austria, then Belgium, then Jeddah, Monza, and Britain. So those are the tracks that we have got coming up for you. I feel like we've commentated already a few weeks, and it's flying over. We've only had 3 rounds. Well, 4, including that Belgium race last week. But as I say, it's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be fascinating, I think, to see, of course, how every single race is going to happen and how all of these drivers will cope. And it looks like the drivers are going to be coping with Portimao very shortly indeed. And I'm going to get my way back to the Twitch stream to see what you guys are going on about as well. Charlie saying Vamos FVR, I think that's meant to say, not F1R. Notice a comment about ASMR. Do not get me started with ASMR at all. And Freddy also saying, "Don't ruin for me. I don't care." Yeah, I really do not ruin. Drafts for me. I don't care, because it's something to watch on a Saturday night after I've done commentary in LOE. Simple as that. And I'm going to obviously been watching that with bated breath, especially the final episode, which I know was going to be quite good. Obviously, with all the events that happened last season, right at the end of the season, of course, with Verstappen and Hamilton. But we should be good to go, I think, very soon indeed, as I say, for the racing here in Portimao. And obviously, expect the unexpected is what I come to say. Dresse has actually put a comment in, and I will answer this now. Give us an opinion. What's your favourite new 2022 livery? I've got to be honest. I know I'm going to be cried out for in the comment section by saying this. I really like the McLaren. I think the McLaren is an absolute stunning livery. I love the blue that's on the edges of the actual car. And honestly, for me, McLaren is probably the best livery. I also like, obviously, Haas have got rid of the Uralkali and the Russian colours, the blue basically off their livery. That looks quite nice as well. But yeah, I think McLaren, probably the best livery, to be honest. I'm not sure about everyone else. I'm probably going to get now completely nutty bounded out in the comment section now that I've said McLaren's the favourites, because I know what some people think of it. But we should be good to go. We're getting going, of course, here in Portimao. 33 laps awaiting our drivers out on track. And yeah, McLaren, best livery for sure this season. I also like the Ferrari as well. Ferrari obviously looks really nice. McLaren for me 100%. CC Brain better win, otherwise I have to rethink his paycheck, says Benny. Don't want to be doing that, Benny, whatsoever. Don't want to be doing that. I think you'll be maybe thinking of, obviously Mathieu was also racing here for TTG. And TTG, to me, you've got an outside chance here tonight. Mathieu did very well in the PSGL F3 race around here. I think he finished top 5, top 6, somewhere like that. He was up towards the top end of the field. Rudy, of course, won that day in the league that I covered, obviously. And Rudy might be one of those guys to watch out for as well for IFR. Depends on what strategies everyone's going to go on. Of course, we are going to be getting going very soon indeed. Well, I hope we're getting going very soon indeed. We are waiting for somebody to ready up, unless we're going to get another 30-second countdown, which might be the actual case. Meti was my GOAT. He's also, can I also say he's also my GOAT, considering I'm part of TTG? I think yeah, I might have just landed myself in a bit of trouble there, that I've said that. Goodness me. But she was also in, what are you paying him, Benny? Buttons, that's what he's paying him. That's what he's paying them. He's paying them buttons, either chocolate flavoured or the ones that keep your shirt together. 30-second countdown is now on. Benny's saying 3 eggs and 2 beers a race. Very nice indeed. What's the worst livery then? For me, there's not really a bad livery this year. I've got to be honest, I hate the Mercedes. The Mercedes, for me, it's a rework of the last couple of years in terms of their design. And for me, it doesn't work with the car. The colour scheme, it's obviously changed in terms of the colour scheme slightly. I think Mercedes, personally, I wouldn't say it's the worst livery, but I think it's one that I detest the most, if that even makes sense. Formation lap about to begin though, here in Portimao, and we should be getting everyone's strategy up very soon indeed. Split strategies, which is interesting to see. Our doppelganger, Benjamin, of course, and that sort of soft compound tyres. There's only 3 drivers in the top 10 on the set of softs. Xander, interestingly as well for TF10, and F1MD Nikolsos. Nikolsos has been very consistent the last couple of weeks in terms of his results. So, he's having 8. Set of soft compound tyres. Theoretically, they're going to be the quickest guys out on track, you would imagine. And of course, they're all on an even playing field because everyone's starting on a fresh compound of tyre. Unlike, of course, if we obviously didn't restart the lobby, everyone would be starting on a worn set of tyres. So it gives that everyone a bit of an advantage, get further into the race, get their strategies running as well. Further down the field as well, Rudy, Lattis and Modesto on a set of soft compound tyres, along with Assi. I forgot to mention Assi as well, they're in 11th. But all of those guys on a sort of soft compound tyre. Everyone else, Andrea Condengolo, Facilo, Tom, Freddie, Matthew and Legend, who's in the top 10 on a set of mediums, along with Block, Yogurt, Julian, Lorre, Manolo and CC Brain. They're on a set of medium compound tyres further down the field as well. Let me know who you're predicting for your top 3 for the race in terms of the actual finish, and have to wait and see, of course, how everyone is going to be getting on. B, as always, seals deals. Not for me, it doesn't. Nice drink of Volvic. Well, when I say Volvic water, I've got a little bit of I've got diluted juice in, so that is my cheers to everyone in the stream. Soft mediums is better. Yeah, I think soft mediums is probably better. Mediums obviously get online more. Softs, I think they only gain around 5-6 tenths a lap. Obviously, other tracks they gain 2.5 seconds a lap sometimes, especially around something like Belgium. Kuhn's saying he would have done that strategy. Yeah, I think softs mediums probably the best strategy to go on, but mediums to softs, wait to see if there's obviously any rain towards the end of the race as well. As we now get on to the grid, and it's a really awful camera angle, I've got to say, down and towards turn number 1. From turn number 1 up towards the start-finish line. It is obviously a downhill run down and towards Primera at turn 1. And Benjamin is going to set us up very shortly indeed. Hopefully we're going to get a first-time start. 5 red lights are about to come on, I hope. I pray they're going to be coming on. I hope. There we go, the 5 red lights are now coming on here in Portimao. It is round number 3, round number 4 of the championship in the IFR eSports Cup. And it is... lights on and away we go! And Benjamin hasn't started! Benjamin! Not sure if he got a bit of light glitch and that's absolute chaos off the start. Assi has been collected already. That's surely going to deploy VSC. At least Facilo leads through turn 1. Andrea in second, Xander in third. And our doppelganger, Benjamin, down in 19th position off the start. He didn't get going at all. I'm not sure I'm not sure what happened there. Did his throttle even work? That's unbelievable. I've never ever seen something like that. Benjamin now right down on the back of the field. VSC already deployed. And that's one of the worst starts I think I've ever seen in league racing. Absolutely unbelievable. Not sure if there was a lights glitch or something. We are back to green flag racing. Facilo leads the way. Andrea in second, Xander in third. You have to feel sorry for Benjamin. You have to feel sorry as well for Benjamin. Right down the back of the field. Benjamin's lights went off years later, says Kilwar. I thought it was that. And unfortunately for him, he's got collected. And unfortunately, it's the result of the game. And Portimao obviously does deliver a few problems in terms of the lobby. Absolute shame. Absolute shame. He's down on the back of the field. If he wins this now, it'll be the almightiest comeback in league racing history, quite literally. Back to the action though. Facilo leads the way. He's gained 9 tenths of a second ahead of Andrea, and Xander now right on the back of him, coming through the final corner. The other TF10 man looking to make up for lost time, obviously with Benjamin not even getting off the line. Xander down the inside line in towards turn number 1. This should be quite easy, to be honest. Xander, yeah, Andrea backs off the throttle and Xander through, and he's into second position. And now we can focus on Fasilo ahead of him, 5 tenths ahead, the Italian at this moment in time. Absolute ridiculous start, I've got to say. That was, yeah, F2 vibes. I totally get that from Jeddah, I think it was, where, was it Lundgaard, I think, didn't move off the line? Nikolsos dives it down the inside line of Andrea. That's a lovely move down the inside line. Andrea looks like he's disconnected from the session. Hopefully not. He's back in now. A little bit of lag going on there. Hopefully not a desyncing car like we had last week. Fasilo leading the way. Xander in second. Nikolsos there in third. Dived it down the inside line. It was a lovely move by the F1 MT man. And he's on that sort of soft compound tyres. Everyone else in the softs, by the way, got completely caught up in that instant. They haven't moved a single position, I don't think. They've obviously gained positions. Benjamin's the one that significantly lost them. Everyone else on the softs is obviously going there. As he's saying, or somebody's saying he's fuming. That is that tease there in the comment section. Yeah, such a shame. Such a shame. Fasilo leads the way though. Xander in second. Nikolsos there in third. We'll try and focus on the action as much as we can. Predicted pit stop strategy. Lap 12 to 13. Probably right, I think, for a track like this. Xander on the back of Fasilo. Inevitably, he's probably going to get the move done down in towards turn number 5. Fasilo leads the way. Xander there in second. Rudy and you're going to go in side by side further down the straight. Benjamin as well on CC Brain down the inside line. Gets the move done. German just slots in behind. And the Dutchman is through. Lattis dives it down the inside line of Rudy. Actually gets the move done, I think, on Yogurt in that. So Lattis through and he's into 13th. Modesto now on the back into 15th. Xander, by the way, got the lead in towards Torre Vip. Modesto, though, down the inside line. He's going to take 1, if not 2, down the inside of Torre Vip. Can he get 2? No, he doesn't get the move done. The Brit of Lattis there in 13th. Modesto there in 14th, doing a good job. Xander leads the way. Fasilo there in second. And Fasilo now is probably going to lose the time. If he stays within a second consistently in the next couple of laps of this race, Fasilo's probably going to win this, I think. He's probably going to be on the better strategy towards the end of the race. Nikolsos there in third. Andrea there in fourth. Conengolo under pressure from Fede. Fede just caught a little bit of slipstream there coming out of turn 11. Just drifting him out wide slightly. Fede now coming through turn 14. Takes the inside line. Takes my line through there. Takes the inside line. He saves the ground coming through the final corner. And he doesn't take my line coming through the final corner because I go right up to the curb through there. Freddy coming down in towards turn number 1 on the back of Conengolo. We'll cut to Benjamin though, who is on the back of Yogurt. And considering that Benjamin didn't even get off the start and he hasn't even got any damage on the car, he's down the inside in towards turn number 1 and makes light work possibly of Yogurt there. Forced out wide slightly, but got the move done. So Benjamin through and he's into 15th. And he's picking them off one by one. He's obviously on that fresh set of soft compound tyres. He's picking them off one by one. There's a train pretty much formed from Andrea downwards. The Shazoo guys are struggling. Andrea especially in terms of his pace. I know Tom is very quick though. Former IFR man, of course, Tom. Xander there in the lead. Fasilo in second. Nikolsos in third. Lap 4 out of 33. Of course, DRS was enabled last lap around. DRS, of course, will be online once again this lap around. Fede much quicker than Conengolo coming out the hill. Coming off the hill in towards turn 7, or out of turn 7 and 8, in towards now turn 10 at Portimao. We'll see in the middle sector, yeah, he's 4 tenths up through the middle sector, so he's clearly going quicker, I think, than Conengolo ahead of him. And Conengolo did qualify quite well. In terms of position gains, by the way, early on, position gains are, and I'll just get them up for a second, Block has gained 4, most positions gained is Modesto. He's gained 6 positions right from the back of the field. Xander's gained 5 off the start. It's a really good start by Xander. And he obviously is the leader of this race. Down and towards turn number 1. Fasilo there in second, not close enough. And once again, I don't think any driver is close enough. June and Rudy, I think, are going to get quite close. Possibly down and towards turn number 3. Rudy. The Rude Meister, you could call him. I've just given him a nickname. Possibly, yeah. He's coming through turn number 4 on the back of Julian. Julian stays in behind Messi for now, and I don't think anyone's going to get the move done, but Modesto's going to lunge this on Lattis down the inside line, in towards turn number 5 at Torre Vip, and there's a bit of ghosting, but Modesto gets the inside line. Lattis just hit the curb there, I think, slightly on the inside. Forces his car offline, into a little bit of a half spin, and that is why Modesto's through and he's into 13th. So, picking candy from a baby, pretty much in that position. Fede on the back of Conengolo as well. Spagna doing well there in 6th. The Italian there in 7th. They're all on a set of medium compound tyres in and around this pack. But Xander leading the way. And my voice is already giving way, by the way, so I might have to go a little bit quieter throughout the stream. So hopefully you do not appreciate that too much. Xander loading the way. Facilo 1 second. Nicole's latching onto the back now, the front three. Legend, though, all of the back of block. Possibly from move down towards turn number 1. He's not going to close up, I don't think, enough. Somebody that will, though, I think, is Benjamin on the back of Lattice. Pulls out of the slipstream. The Red Bull is going to get through on the Williams, I think, here. Down the inside line. And yes, Benjamin is through. He's into 14th. And I've got to be honest, Benjamin could have easily retired coming into the pick in lap 1. 90% of the times, drivers would probably retire lap 1 if it didn't go their way. Benjamin's not that kind of person. He's into 14th position. Legend lunges it down the inside line of block in the meantime. That's a sensational move. He can pull it off. He doesn't. He went too deep on the brakes. Block there into 8th. Legend now down at 9th. He remains in that position for now. That was an absolute lunge, though, by Legend. Benjamin, though, as I was saying, somebody, 90% of the time, in any league race you normally come into, you probably would have given up by now. He's not like that, though. He wants to try and make amends for his start. And honestly, if he wins this will be one of the best drivers I've ever seen in league racing. It's as simple as that. Facilo on the back of Xander, coming out of the final corner. We'll focus on the battle for the lead now. Xander leading the way, Facilo in second, Nicolsos there in third. Nicolsos has just lost a bit of time to Facilo. But as I said, Facilo, if he stays within a second in this DRS train, in the next couple of laps, which he has done, he's within that second, and he's within a chance of possibly winning this race. Mashiro, yeah, is really staying with those soft runners, and it's because of the DRS. Quite simply, it's because of the DRS. That is why he is staying there. The DRS is quite potent around this track, and I think we saw him move, possibly down the field. I think it was Legend down the inside line, getting the move done on block. So, Legend through, he's into 8th. I'm not sure who made the move there. There was a move further down, and I think it was Rudy on Julian, if I'm not mistaken. So, Rudy's through on Julian, into 11th. Beautiful camera angle, by the way, down towards Tommy Vip. There's a car lunging it down the inside on. That's Modesto trying to get the elbows out on Julian. And coming now through, and he's got the move done. Nice move there. Modesto, obviously, with the pace on that set of soft compounder tyre. He's through, and he's into 12th. And he is making mincemeat, I've got to say, some of the field, especially on the set of mediums around him. Modesto is doing a sterling job at this moment in time. Rudy's going to lunge this down the inside in towards Portimao at turn 10. This is for P10 as well. Matthew stays in P10. Rudy there in 11th. But Rudy had a goal there. Of course, he won a round here in PSGL. Of course, Cameron Dowds, for reference, got disqualified when 10 seconds in the lead of the race. He got disqualified at the end of the race because he was completely desynced to everyone else. So, fortunate for him, but Rudy obviously benefited that day, and Rudy's going to try and benefit from a run down in towards turn number 1 on Meteo. I think Conan Ngolo is going to be quite close on Tom, running down in towards turn 1. Has Rudy got the pace? He hasn't got the ERS to try and get this move done. Benjamin, though, might do on the back of Julian towards turn number 1. Oh, bit of bumping and barging there. I think Julian will not be happy with that, but Benjamin, regardless, as soon he's into 13th. Julian there down in 14th now. Conan Ngolo is going to get the run now on Tom, down in towards Torre for turn number 5. Is he going to be boxed in, though? Around the outside. If he can get this move done, this would be brilliant. Conan Ngolo around the outside of Tom, even. Could get Andrea as well later on the lap, but Conan Ngolo down the inside of turn 7 gets the job done. Very, very nice move that by Conan Ngolo. Had the traction coming out of 5, set it up exactly from the exit there, and Conan Ngolo now through, and he's in to P5, as I've lost my drink slightly there. Fede on the back of Tom. He's only 2/10 away. They're all running a bit of a train, but all of these trains really develop up. Drivers do get impatient in a train like this, and that's what we've been seeing in terms of the overtakes. The overtakes have been happening because drivers are impatient, stuck behind somebody that they're clearly quicker than. And Fede, I think, is going to prove that completely right now, because he's behind Tom. He looks considerably quicker coming out of the middle sector, doing out the final sector, and now down the run in towards turn number 1. Fede's going to pull out the slipstream possibly on Tom in towards turn number 1, and in fact Tom, I think, is going to get the move done on Conan Ngolo in towards turn 1. Tries to lunge it around the outside of the Brits, doesn't get the move done. Andrea there in third. Andrea's trying to hold up, I think, Conan Ngolo enough so Tom can get past, and then it'll be the scenario where Tom's obviously let through by his teammate, and Tom, with fresher tyres, seemingly like fresher tyres, he can now begin to close up on the back. Fede again on the back of Tom, not quite close enough. Further down the field, really cuts this far back in the field so far. Manolo on the back of CC Brain, 17th and 18th position, 3/10 per second covering them. And it looked like Manolo was going to try and get the move done in towards turn number 7. That's why I rolled on board with the battle, but he's there in P18 at this moment in time. Xander leading the way, Facilo in second. Tom now beginning to get very impatient behind Cunning and Gullo. I think if he gets a good run out of turn 15, he should get the move done in towards turn number 1. Modesto, by the way, Lunger, I think, on Metu down in towards Portimao, so gets the job done there, and he's through and he's into P10. Modesto's making, I've got to say, very, very good work through the field. Metu was going side by side as well with Rudy. Rudy's down the inside line, in towards Gab, on board with the helicopter cam, and Rudy down the inside line. He's probably going to get this move done, and he does get the move done. Very nice move there. Never really seen overtake in towards turn 15. Rudy is through. But look at the run that Benjamin has got. He's going to get 1, if not 2, down the straight. Rudy now is going to give Benjamin the slipstream. Benjamin to the inside line on Rudy. Has got the job done. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Benjamin is recovering very well in this race. There's a gap forming just ahead of him with Modesto pulling away. But Benjamin now through and he's into 11th. Rudy is back up the inside of Metu, who tried to go all the way around the outside there. Didn't get the move done. There's a Williams off in the background. There's 2 wide down in towards Torre Vip. 2x2 like Noah's Ark, and I think it's Lattice that is round. Yeah, Lattice is round coming through there. Now Thomas side by side with Fetty in towards turn number 7. Doesn't get the move done. We're beginning to get a little bit impatient, I think, for some of these guys. Modesto very sideways coming out of turn number 8. Samsung. Xander leading the way. Facilo in second. Nicolsos has just overworn his tyres, I think. Legend tries to dive it down the inside line of Tom. It's a really good race, considering that start that we had. It's a very good race so far. Really hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Trying to cover as much as action as possible without, obviously, trying to nip away from the battles. Lattice has spun once again off track coming through turn 7. Or turn 6 there, the kink of 6. Xander leads the way, though. Facilo in second, Nicolsos there in third. Tom on the back, he's getting pressurised by Legend. And in fact, Legend's going to go for the move on Tom. Tom forcing him all the way towards the pit wall. Has to try and cover off, and he spun. They make contact, and Tom's in the wall. Tom is in the wall. And that is unfortunate because he was moving across on Legend down the straight. Nothing Legend could have done. Legend would have got the move done anyways. I think Tom, I've got to be honest, it was a bit silly. You don't try and make contact with another driver down in towards turn number 1. Yoga, by the way, gets the move done on Metu down into 13th there. So Metu through, sorry, Yoga through on Metu when he's into 13th. But Tom, there was just that bit of wheel banging through in towards turn number 1, down the hill, basically, is where he went off. And it's so unfortunate. It was so unfortunate. I do not know what happened, honestly, with that incident. But just silly. Just silly. Could have easily been avoided if there was no contact to... If there was no contact there, Legend would have got the move done. Quite simply, he would have got it done on the brakes. Quite simply. Tom wouldn't have. Tom should have just backed out, thought about his own race, thought about the points for the team. He didn't. I'm sure on hindsight, he'll look back on that and think, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Simple as that. Xander leads the way. Facilo in second. Drivers now pitting in. Benjamin and Rudy are into the pit lane. And these are the first pit stops, actually. The first official pit stops. Lattice obviously came in further down the field. But now Tom into picks up a 3-second penalty through 13. And Rudy gets ahead of Benjamin. No, Benjamin gets ahead of Rudy. Don't know what was going on there. But coming down in towards turn number 1, they should be, well, they're going to be comfortably ahead, obviously, of Tom. But they're on to that set of medium compound tyres. They will get easily towards the end of the race. 21 laps will work very nicely. Van leading the way, though. Facilo in second. Nicolsos has really dropped off the pace. Going to ride on board with him and see if his tyres are really letting him go, because it's normally the left tyres that go on this track, because it's more of a right-handed circuit than a left-handed circuit. Nicolsos, with obviously the bearing load on that left tyre, on the left tyres, it tends to be, I think, the rear that goes. The left rear is the one that tends to go. And run on board with him, probably sees he now comes back into the sunlight. Tyres don't look warm, but he's just overworn them completely. He's just overworn them. He's went too quick early on, and he's now beginning to struggle because he's losing time to Cunningham, losing time to Facilo. And I would think next lap around, this lap around, lap 13, I think he should come into the pit lane because Modesto has already. Legend now going to get the move done on Andrea, and that is what should have happened between Legend and Tom. Didn't happen, but Legend now dived down the inside line in towards turn 1, got the job done, and he's into 6. So Just come to show, down towards someone, you can make a move down there without making side-by-side contact. And Mashiro, yeah, when he moved to the right, it was a very, very dangerous defensive move, I think, to be honest, from Tom. He's back on the set of soft compounded tires. I know for a fact he'll probably look back on it and just think, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have risked it. I should be saying sorry to my team. Simple as that. What's done is done. Stewards obviously will have a look at it. But, yeah, I'm sure Tom will learn from it. And I know he's a better driver than that. Quite simply. Xander leads the way. Facilo in second. Should be seen, possibly the leader pitting in the next couple of laps. Looks like Xander is pitted in. Obviously Benjamin has already pitted in. He's down with Modesto. They're obviously on fresh tyres. They're obviously in a group by themselves as well. And that is going to be really, really key. Xander, I think, is into the pit lane this lap. Yeah, Xander is in from the lead of the race. Facilo goes on, obviously. He should be going around 22, 23 laps, I'm going to say, on a set of medium compound tyres, and then go 10 laps on a set of softs. Xander into the pit. We also saw Nicole coming into the pit lane there. So, both going into a set of medium compound tyres. Nobody, I don't think, close enough in towards turn number 1. Saying that, you're good on the back of Julian. Not quite close enough there. Both of them, where are they going to come out in terms of Modesto? Xander and Nicole are absolutely miles ahead of these guys. So Xander out of the pit lane, miles ahead of Nicole, who in turn is miles ahead of Modesto. And Modesto must be about 5-10 seconds behind as Benjamin lunged it down the inside line. That's a phenomenal move on the brakes. Benjamin through and he's into 15th. Modesto, gives him a little bit of love tap there, thinking, you know what, I could probably do a little bit better than that. Modesto on the back of our Doppelganger, of course Benjamin for TF10. Benjamin now through and he's into 15th position. That was a nice move. Really, really nicely done. Nicely judged. Down the inside line. It's exactly the sort of move you want to see on a fresh set of tyres. And Benjamin obviously making up for lost time and making up for a possible lost win as well. I have a feeling he'll still finish maybe top 5 by the end of this race. I think it's probably much guaranteed they will finish towards that top end, the top end of the pack at least towards the end. Facilo Legend on the back of Fetty, running down towards turn number 1 is not quite close enough. CC Brain on the back of Metsu. Two TTG men running 9th and 10th. I did say TTG might do quite well. Kundingullo has picked up a penalty. Don't really need to show the penalties graphic because you know who's already got them, but it's Kundingullo and Tom for reference. So they've got 3 seconds worth of time penalties. There's a yellow flag, and that is Tom. I think that is off. Tom is off. Coming through turn number 8, that is through Samsung. As Assi has left the session. Oh, he's already out the race, that's why. Assi, thank him though for attending, even though we got 100 yards. Which is unfortunate. And again, through Sector 2 and Sector 3, I think Tom letting through Lattice there. So Lattice and P18. I wonder if Tom has been off again into the wall. And he might have right side end plate damage. Certainly nothing on the left side. So he's purely struggling. Tom will get lapped, I think, by Facilo very, very shortly indeed as well. Disappointment, really, for Tom. Commentated him in TTML F1 earlier on last week, on Sunday it was. And he drove one of the best races in that season. And it's a shame. It's a shame, obviously. Tom has now spun out the final corner. He may as well just park it into the pit lane and retire, I think. Because he's now going to be lapped by the whole entire pack, I think. Coming around the final corner. On the run to the line. Facila leads the way. Kundingullo in second. Fetty there in third. Legend in fourth. I think he's probably being given, though, the instruction either to retire in his box or stay out there, pick up points. CC Brain to the inside of turn number 1. We'll get the move done on Metsu. Yogurt as well around the outside of turn number 1, and Julian makes a bit of contact. And I think Julian was sent round there. Yeah, Julian was sent round. Facila was clear out in front. Yeah, 7 seconds clear. Kundingullo's closing in slightly. I say slightly to gaining 0.2 per second. Tom's AI is now coming out the pit lane. He retired, by the way. Julian and Yogurt, I think there with that incident, Yogurt just left Julian no room at all on the inside line to try and come back at him out of turn 1, and that's why we saw the contact. So Yogurt there in 7th, CC Brain there in 8th, the SXT man still doing a good job. Legend as well in 4th position, also doing a good job. Santeri there in the comment section coming in and saying that. And yeah, Facilo is clear. He's pulling away now in this middle sector. Middle sector seems to be his strongest point out on track. And he's 7.2 seconds clear. 7.1, 7.2, around that sort of gap. And he ran very well in PSGL F1 around here. On the PSC, of course. He ran very well indeed in, albeit changeable conditions. I think it was wet that day in Portimao. But Facilo's doing a good job. And I mean, OP, they're going to be further down the field later on in the race, but they're going to be on better tyres. They're going to be on that sort of softs. And obviously, the whole debate about what the best tyre is around here, sometimes when obviously drivers get going in their race, they don't necessarily know themselves what the best strategy is. For now, I would say softs to mediums is probably the best strategy, because Xander's obviously closing in on Julian, the Colsos and Benjamin and all the likes are going to be gaining further time compared to the guys who are obviously on more worn tyres. CC Brain now on the back of Yogurt in towards Torre Vip, doesn't get the move done. Interesting battle though going on for 15th. Benjamin still under pressure. He hasn't actually dropped Modesto and Rudy. I thought he would have dropped them by now, but he hasn't. Just seems to be struggling at this moment in time. Benjamin there in 15th, pulling away. Modesto there in 16th. He's under pressure from Rudy in behind. And Rudy in behind there in 17th. Trece is saying, whatever the Italians have in Bravecus, I want some. Is that the spaghetti? What makes them so fast? Very quick indeed, but my concern is they're going to go onto a set of soft compounder tyres, and they're not necessarily going to be that quick on that set of soft compounder tyres, because as I said in the formation lap, you always gain 6-7 tenths per second on average, I think, around here per lap on a set of softs. Compare that to a track like Belgium or a track like Jeddah, you're going to be gaining possibly 2 seconds a lap every single lap for the first couple, I would say. Manolo side by side with Matthew down the inside line and towards turn number 1. The TF man, does he get the move done on the TTG man? He does. Manolo through and he's into 9th. Nice move there by Manolo. Of course, formerly, I think, of one of the teams that is actually in this event, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew on the back of Manolo. Something about barbecue pizza going on there in the comment section I could see. Barbecue pizza, yeah, not my favourite, certainly. Pepperoni is where it's all at. It's a proper Italian pizza, that. Sela leads the way. Condingolo in 2nd. Feddy there in 3rd. Feddy doing a good job in 3rd. He's right on the back of Condingolo. And in terms of the EOS as well, he's actually got more EOS. He's got about 25%, I think, more EOS than Condingolo in 2nd. Feddy there in 3rd. Legend there in 4th. If anyone, by the way, says ham and pineapple pizza, you can just get kicked out of this stream right now. Simple as that. Sela leads the way. Condingolo in 2nd. Feddy in 3rd. Legend there in 4th. And actually, Facila was running out of his deployment, running down the straight. He's that committed on these strategies. Feddy, though, is into the pit lane. Now, this now, I think, will bring in Facilo on that set of soft compounder tyres next lap around. This will probably be Feddy into the pit lane. For a set of soft compounder tyres, he is now in. And Facilo will probably pit in next lap around. He's going to be around 7 seconds clear compared to where Feddy comes out. So if Feddy comes out behind the likes of this pack here with Benjamin, because I think he's going to come out just ahead of these guys. So Feddy, give that 7 seconds between Feddy and Facilo. Facilo's going to come out possibly where Xander and Julian is at this moment in time, because Julian's still got to pit in. He'll be between Xander and the Kosos when he comes into the pit lane. Facilo leads the way. Condingolo in 2nd. Drivers on a set of soft compounder tyres. Block just sent that one down the inside of Rudy. Down in towards turn number 5. A Torre Vic gets the move done. He's turning into 15th. F1MD having changeable races because Nicholas is on that set of mediums. He's done a very good job. Block now on a set of softs. What can he do out on track? And Lewis saying, yeah, pineapple pizza definitely worse than barbecue pizza. I don't know how anybody can like pineapple pizza or ham and pineapple pizza or whatever. Facilo stays out actually. Condingolo and Legend into the pit lane. And yeah, not Italian gastronomy at all. Definitely not. Arrabbiata, yes. Anything like that, pasta, yes. Definitely. In fact, I had a pizza sub for my dinner. Pepperoni one. Chicago town. There you go. Sela leads the way. Metsu in 2nd. Xander in 3rd. I don't know where this stream is going, by the way. Legend's coming out of the pit lane behind Condingolo. And look where these guys are going to join. They're going to join just in front. There is a battle going on behind. And Legend nearly spears behind Benjamin. And now Block is pretty much blocked. Dare I use that pun? Yeah, Legend Legend down the inside of turn 4. He just about stays ahead, but Brock's going to get the run. He's on much fresher tyres. Those tyres are not warming up to temperature. Legend takes the defensive line. Brock dives it down the inside line, not going for the block. He goes for the move, in fact, and it ends up more like 10 block coming out of turn 5. Nice move there by Brock. He's into 10. Legend there down 11. He really fought that battle, I've got to say, Legend. He tries again down the inside of turn 8. I think Legend now, though, wait behind him towards turn number 1, my friend. Fasilo leads the way. Still going on. Fasilo was still going on. Where is he going to come out? It's a very long pit stop around here. Fasilo possibly could be coming out in 2nd and 3rd here. Meti was probably going to come into the pits this lap around. He does. Fasilo was still continuing on. He has committed 22-23 laps. As I said earlier on, if you committed 22-23 laps, you're bound to get those softs online right to the end of the race. And Fasilo was managing to do this. He's got a real chance of winning this now. Fasilo, 22 seconds over Xander, and those tyres do not look, honestly, as cold as what we're seeing with Xander's tyres. There's a lot of action going on, by the way, further down the field. I think Block has ended up spinning coming through turn number 1. I'm not sure if Benjamin had anything to do with that, because they were side by side in towards turn 1. Fasilo leads the way. Xander there in 2nd. Nicolas there in 3rd. Benjamin, by the way, he's up to 8th. And I've got to say, considering he didn't even get off the line and had anti-stall or his lights were completely different, he's done a phenomenal job to get where he is. Even though he's on a set of medium compound tyres, and yes, they're going to be worn towards the end of the race, he's done a phenomenal job to even get back into contention. Fasilo, though, into the pit lane from the lead of the race. This is where we find out where he's going to come out. I think it's a 27-second pit stop around here. He's going to be, I think, side by side with Nicolas coming out the pit lane. Maybe even, dare I say it, ahead of Xander coming out the pit lane. Let's find out. It's a long pit lane around here at Portimao. He's got to be out in 2nd. He's got to be out in 2nd, and he's not too far off Xander at all coming out the pit lane. What a phenomenal job by Fasilo. Fasilo was out of the pit lane, and he's 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds basically off the win here. Fasilo now, set of soft compounder tyres. He is pretty much now, I think he's on to win this race. The OP man is on to win this race. And Fetty there in 4th, he's going to probably get Nicolas before the end of the race, I would imagine, as well. Codnangolo might have something to say about that, though. And towards turn number 5, waiting behind. But Fasilo, yeah, too much outplayed. I think he's too much outpaced, rather than outplayed, to take a spin on words there. But yeah, Fasilo, 1.3 seconds. Now, the softs do come online. They only go online for around 4 or 5 laps around here normally. Fasilo has got to manage his tyres, I think more manage DRS. And Fasilo there in 2nd doing a good job. I'll try and focus on more action, by the way, further down the field, instead of me trying to ramble on about pineapple pizzas and whatever in the comment section there. Sushi has now been mentioned. I've never had sushi. There you go. There's a fun fact for you today. Xander leads the way. Fasilo, though, in the DRS. He's now 9/10 off the lead. And I would imagine when he gets up to the back of Xander, he's just going to go straight for the move, because there's no risk in really waiting him behind. If he waits him behind, his tyres will be gone before the end of the race. So I think Fasilo, for me, has got to get this move done ASAP to really land himself with a really good chance of winning this race. Lap 23 out of 33. Xander leads the way. Fasilo in 2nd. Codnangolo again on the back of Fetty. Is he going to lunge the move? No. Close enough. He could get the switchback, actually, coming out through turn 5. And gets just too much curb, I think, to try and get that move done. He is not running any ERS. Yeah, sushi does seem disgusting. I have seen it. My girlfriend has tried it, and she says it's very nice. But yeah, we have got Mashiro, by the way, in the comment section there, so Mashiro can tell us all about it. There you go. Xander leads the way. Fasilo in 2nd, Nicolas there in 3rd, Fetty in 4th, Codnangolo there in 5th, and Drave in 6th, Legend in 7th, and Jensen coming into the comments saying, yeah, exactly what we all thinking, I think, at this stage. Fasilo was just clear. He's completely clear. This is why he's in the top end of the standings in PSGL F1. This is why he's probably going to get the move done in towards turn 1 on Xander as well. He will now use up the CRS to get this move done, and it's going to be clean sailing past Xander, down and towards turn number 1. Easy as you like. Fasilo through and he's into the lead of the race. Xander there in second. Nikolsos there in third. And now Fasilo into the lead of the race. And now we can put the hammer down and pretty much lay it all on the line right until the end of this race. Block making a move on Manolo further down the field. And he's through and he's into P13. See there leading the way. Xander in second, Nikolsos in third. I'm sure drivers will be looking at the Atletico match after this game. Conor N'Golo, I know, mentioned that in Discord earlier on. Not sure what the score is. Probably 0-0. I think we've just got underway. I do have a girlfriend. Yeah, we've been together 6 years, believe it or not. Very strange indeed. Sadly, she's not here with me. But if you have a look on YouTube and whatever in Discord, you'll see her. Simple as that. Make your own opinion. Fasilo leads the way. Xander in second. Nikolsos in third. Freddy in fourth. Conor N'Golo there in fifth. Andrea in sixth. Legend there in seventh. Benjamin continues now struggling in that set of mediums. I can't believe he's in 8th position towards the end. I think, honestly, as I say, he could have ended up retiring on the first lap and not picking up any points for his team. It just comes to show what a characteristic driver he is. And it just comes to show how quick he is because he's there in 8th. Obviously made those moves done on a set of softs. Might struggle now to obviously lay back down off Modesto and Rudy. But doesn't get the move done there. Speaking of moves done, Freddy through and he's into third. On the Nikolsos, Conor N'Golo in fifth. Mashiro saying James and girlfriend and comms together for the next race. She has a PS4, but she doesn't have a mic. So yeah. And she doesn't even like F1, to be honest. I'll let you into that as well. Conor N'Golo on the back of the Nikolsos. Dives it down the inside line and towards Torre Ripper turn 5. Gets the job done. He's into 4th. Really nice move that by Conor N'Golo. Got the elbows out. And he's into 4th. I'm not even responding, by the way, Dressy, to that. Fasilo leads the way. Xander there in second. Can Freddy catch Xander before the end of the race? Is what I'm thinking. 5.6 seconds the gap. I think it's too much of a gap to bridge down. If it was more 2.6 seconds, I think he might have a chance. But he's got to gain the time. Those set of softs are obviously going to be quick. They're not going to be that quick, though, towards the end of the race. And I think Freddy will struggle, but it looks good. If he can pull away now from Conor N'Golo and form up a battle between these both and pull away from Andrea as well, in there in P6 at this moment in time. But, yeah, Silo leading the way, Xander in second, Freddy in third. I'm sure anybody that is single will probably look up that name, Dresse. But Silo leading the way, Xander in second. I really do not know where this stream has gone, by the way. I'm just trying to get along in life, I think, tonight. Fasilo leading the way, Xander there in second. IFR support coming in there as well from Dresse. 7th position for Legend, 10th for Rudy. Rudy's in a good spot. If he can get onto the back of Benjamin, who's now struggling. Modesto's obviously going to struggle in those tyres as well. Rudy, normally good in his tyre wear, should try and get those moves done, but he's got to watch out for the TTG man, got to watch out for the SXT man in behind as well. Isma should know what OnlyFans is. Can't believe I've just mentioned that. Silo leads the way. Xander in second, Freddy in third. You're making my voice go. Terrible. I should really start commentating on the action and not look at your comments. Terrible. We have 7 laps to go though after this. Fasilo leads the way. Xander in second, Freddy in third, Conor N'Golo in fourth. Hopefully, if Cole Masters doesn't throw another spanner in the works, we should be getting this race towards the end of the race. Tressa has had too much beers. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Legend and Rudy is the F1 eSports community equivalent of Karina Kopf. I don't even know who that is, to be honest, but there we are. I know who Legend and Rudy is, but I'll have to Google it. Google it later on. Andrea on the back of the Nikolsos flies past him down and towards turn 1, gets the move done. I think we're going to see the same with CC Brain on the back of Rudy. Are we going to get a similar move as now CC Brain to the inside line of turn number 1 at Primera? Is he going to lunge it down the inside line? The German, what a move that is by the TTG man. Rudy on his spun on the inside curb through 2, and Jogan has to take avoiding action. That's unfortunate for Rudy. But he just got completely outmastered there by CC Brain on the brakes. CC Brain through and into 10th. That is a really nice move by CC Brain. Go and watch that back later on. That's the best move of the race for me. Quite simply because late on the brakes, down the inside line and towards turn 1. Rudy gave him a lot of room, I've got to say. But CC Brain, given the nature of the camber of the corner, forced him slightly out wide. CC Brain through his into descent. That was a nice move. Really, really good move that by CC Brain. Vasilo leading the way. Xander in second. Fetty in third. Vasilo's in a world of his own out in front. If he doesn't pick up a puncture, which he probably won't, he'll get to the end of the race and he'll probably be, I think, about 8 seconds clear towards the end. Xander there in second. Fetty there in third. Cullen and Gullel there in fourth. Vashiro's saying he deserves an extra beer. He deserves more than an extra beer for that. He needs 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 for that. Lattis by the way into the pit lane, right down the back of the field. Haven't forgot about him at all. He's had an absolute atrocious race, the Brit. He's down there in 18th, but he's still out there. He's still scoring points, which is more important. Cullen and Gullel on the back of Fetty. Fetty now, all of a sudden, got that move done a couple of laps ago, and all of a sudden, he just seems like he's coming back. It seems like he's... Seems like he's wearing away those tyres, and Cullen and Gullel forces the move down the inside line of Torre Vip. Could be even better than CC Brains this. Down the inside line, but he doesn't get the traction. The outside is always prioritised coming through turn number 5. And Fetty is turning he's into third. Cullen and Gullel in fourth. This is going to be a really intense battle before the end of the race. CC Brain as well, on the back of Modesto. Modesto, by the way, has done a very good job in 9th position. And honestly, he has done a really, really good job. From right at the back of the field, 20th position, up into 9th at the minute, possibly further down the field when the soft runners obviously come into play. CC Brain, Yogurt, just in behind more, especially so. And it's going to be a real struggle. Legend, though, I think is going to be the next move, possibly on the back of Nicole Sauce, down in towards turn number 1. I think Nicole Sauce is just outside of DRS range, coming out of the final corner. He is. Legend should get the move done. This should be an easy move, I think. Pulls towards the inside line, in towards turn number 1, and Legend does get the move done. He's Thunies into 6th. Block picking up a first 3-second penalty there as well. There are the penalties, by the way, with 5 laps to go. Seal leading the way. Xander in second. Cullen and Gullel, though, I think is going to have another go here at Fetty. He's too far back this time around, though, to have a go. And yeah, he waits in behind this time around. To get the run out of turn number 5, though, to try and get onto the back of him. Not quite. Lewis saying saying Isma is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in this comment section, and all of the drivers out there out on track. No homo whatsoever. Sealer leads the way. Xander there in second. Fetty there in third. Couldn't even get my words out. Cullen and Gullel in fourth. Andrea there in fifth, and Andrea's now beginning to pick up the pace. He's latching onto the back of the front of this battle for third. And it's not over and done with, to be honest, with Legend and the Coal Sauce. They could easily latch onto the back as well. And they're doing a phenomenal job. 5th, 6th and 7th position. Facilo, though, is in an absolute world of his own. This is a masterclass from Facilo. Quite simply. This is bellissimo. Absolute bellissimo from Facilo. And he's done a fantastic job out on track. And you can tell why he's in PSG F1. You can tell why he's been pushing Matthew Alder all the way in those races. And this is why, because he's 5.2 seconds clear, getting ahead of really, really good drivers as well. And Fetty in third. Cullen and Gullel, though, I think is going to lunge this on Fetty. Has he got the move done this time around? He's got more of the car ahead. That's a lovely move. Forced him a bit off track, but I think Fetty was entitled just to give up that position there, because Cullen and Gullel had so much of the car ahead. He's Thunies into third. Fetty now down into fourth. And unfortunately for Fetty, that wasn't bellissimo, unfortunately. He's down in fourth now, and I think his tyres are beginning to go off, because Andrea, all of a sudden, is right on the back. With no safety car, by the way. We've only had that VSC earlier on that one. Not even through turn 1, I think we had that VSC. But we haven't had a safety car, and we will not get a safety car for the remainder of this race. So it is now straight out to the checkered flag. If anybody crashes and is out the race, they're unfortunate. Quite simply. Facilo leading the way. Xander there in second. Cullen and Gullel in third. Battle for 8th is going to be quite spicy. Yeah, that is Benjamin, Modesto. They've looked like that, though, for a few laps. And I think this battle for third is going to look more spicy, I think, because Andrea is now beginning to pick up the pace. It's only Fetty and his tyres, because you can see the blistering on his tyres. Compared to Andrea, they look very, very fresh, Andrea's tyres. Fetty is beginning to overwear his softs. And that's going to be a big concern for me towards the end of the race. We now come through turn number 4 once again, on board with Matthew. Possibly going to get the move done on Manolo. TGG man on the back of the TF man. And Matthew down in towards 14th. Doesn't get the move done. Everyone talking about... well, I don't know what people are talking about there, to be honest, in the comment section. I'm not even going to dive into that. I might as well just turn off the stream for the final 2 laps of the race. Vasila leading the way. 2 laps to go. He's in an absolute masterclass out in front. Xander there in second. Colin and Goldel there in third. Every single one of these drivers have done a phenomenal job out on track. And I don't think we're going to get many stewards reports. Obviously for lap 1 we will. But apart from that, not much. It's been a very good race. Better driving sentiment as well. Exactly what we like to see. Did say Portimao would deliver. And it well and truly is. This battle for 8th though is about to get going. CC Brain is so quick at the final corner compared to Modesto. And Modesto's got absolutely no response to this. Because CC Brain is just going to power it down the inside line. Into turn 1. He's gone too far wide. Modesto's going to slip underneath. And then it's like taking... well, candy from a baby once again. Modesto through, and he's into 9th. Fede on the back of Condengolo, doesn't get the move done. But look at Andrea, he's hunting right on the back in towards Torre Vip. CC Brain this time around though, on the back of Modesto. Down the inside line, Modesto gives him the room. German down the inside line. Gets a little bit squirrely and he loses the position. So Modesto stays in 9th. CC Brain there in 10th. Yogurt there in 11th position. Everyone doing a good job out on track. Just 2 laps to go, 1.5 of you being picky. Vasilo leads the way, Xander in second. Is there going to be an OP1-3 though? Vasilo's obviously out in front. As long as he doesn't run out of fuel, he's won. Xander in second is going to remain in that position. It's the battle for third that is going to be, I think, more spicy than battles further down the field. Because Colin and Gold are there in third. Fede there in fourth. And Andrea in fifth. I still think Andrea could get possible third position here. Because he's on better tyres. Fede, though, down the straight is going to now come roaring at Condengolo in towards turn number 1. Is he going to dummy him to the inside line? No, he thinks about going around the outside, and Condengolo pushes him off track, and Fede responds to coming across on Andrea. Andrea will get the run now coming out of turn 3. And this is on. Condengolo, not sure he had the move, I think. Fede, the gap just closed up completely for Fede. Might have a look into that, definitely so. But for me, I didn't really see anything wrong in that. However, Andrea down the inside line through turn number 5. He's now on the back of Fede, running up in towards turn number 7. This is going to get quite spicy. Andrea now pulls to the inside line. He might not be on for a podium, but he's certainly on for 4th position if he can get a really good job here. Coming out now through the final couple of corners. In towards Craig Jones and Portimao. At the top of the hill, Andrea lunges it down the inside line in towards turn number 10. Does he get the move done, the Shazoo man? There's more contact between them both. Vasilo, by the way, is coming out the final couple of corners. Andrea, though, we have to stay on board with this battle because Andrea is still forcing around the inside line. Now on the inside line at 14 at Sagres. Vasilo around the final corner wins the Portuguese Grand Prix. But I'm still enticed with this battle because Andrea, I think, is going to get Fede at the final corner out of Galp. He runs now with the DRS. Fede, I think, is just going to hang on. Fede finishes 4th. Andrea is ahead of him. That will get removed, I think. I think it's Fede in 3rd, Andrea in 4th, Legend there in 5th. There were certainly penalties in there. What an ending. Vasilo was won. Sorry that we didn't come on board with him coming across the line, but that battle was just so good between Andrea. That was a phenomenal ending to the race. Did say the battle for P3 will get going, and it well and truly did. Absolutely brilliant. And Vasilo, round the final quarter, wins. What a fantastic drive from Vasilo. He's definitely driver of the day for me. Fede will finish in P3, definitely. That is a glitch within the game. I've seen it around here before. The positions will be changed, and if they're not, then it's a shame, because you could clearly see I rode on board with it even. That obviously... Fede was ahead of Andrea, and that's why he's going to finish in P3, and Andrea will finish in P4. Yeah, Maras saying that, and that will definitely, I think, be confirmed after the race. Just literally needs a position switch. That's all it needs. Oh, what a race. What an ending to the Portuguese Grand Prix. And that was domination in the end from Vasilo. To the top step of the podium. 1:17 for his fastest lap as well. And Vasilo, look at the Italians at the top end of the field. Vasilo, though, takes the win. Xander there in second. Did well for TF10. I'm not sure what the actual points are going to be. I think OP are going to be very close to taking the championship lead. Possibly. They're going to be a few points behind, I think. Fasilal there wins, Xander there in second, Andrea in third, Fetty in fourth, Legend there in fifth, Cullen and Golo in sixth, Nicolesos there in seventh, our Dappelgamer in eighth, Modesto in ninth, CC Brain ran off the top 10, Yogurt there in 11th, Manolo in 12th, Lorraine in 13th, Block in 14th, Metty in 15th, we're still going, Julian, Rudy and Lattis. Lattis, by the way, did finish under his own accord. Tom and Assy, the two DNFs out of the race. Assy, of course, didn't even make 100 yards. And obviously Tom retired after that collision coming through turn number 1. Oh, so I need to clear my throat after that. Goodness me, what a race. Grande Facilo, Grande Bella, I think, as they say in Italia. And, of course, the Eurovision Song Contest is coming on there in 2 months' time, which I'm very excited for. But, anyways, fantastic race from everyone out on track. I've got to say, really, really well done to Facilo. That was an absolute dominant drive, and it comes to show why he's in PSGL form, why he is considered one of the top drivers on the actual game, on the actual in actual league racing as well. And that drive was just sensational. More like Bahrain. Obviously, Ferry recovering well. Bahrain did not go according to plan for him. First round of the championship, we all know about that. Ferry, though, responds to finishing P3 here. Very good. OP, I think, are going to certainly outgain in terms of Benjamin's points. I think they're going to be a couple of points behind, if I'm not mistaken, going into next week. But what a race that was. Really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can follow us, of course, on Twitch. You can also follow me on Twitter, @TTG_head, if you do want to get in contact with me. And also you can take the notification bells while you're at it as well. Brilliant race. Well, I am probably going to end it off here. Thank you so much for watching the IFR Esports Cup event, round number 3. And until next week, of course, we go to... Give me a second. I have forgotten the calendar because I should remember this before I actually go live. Calendar, next week it is Brazil. So it is Brazil next week in Interlagos at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, or the Autodromo Interlagos, or just simply the Autodromo de Jose Carlos Pache Interlagos. Whatever it's named. It's Brazil. It's going to be a fantastic race. 36 laps around there, of course. Cannot wait to bring in the action once again. I'm going to sign off for the night. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.